Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. As usual, before I go to the editorial analysis, I would like to talk about the enrichment. What is enrichment you are going to get from today's editorial and the newspaper? You're going to learn 10 important words. Impropriety, the first word. Lest, a formal word. Crass, futile, militate, lapses, absolved, exonerated, cohesion, brazenness. These are all effective words you're going to learn. And besides these words, you're going to learn 5 phrasal verbs. Take aback, always used in passive voice. Take after, take off, talk back, thrash out. You're also going to learn 5 idioms. Dark horse, at daggers drawn, elbow room, El Dorado, fag end. You're going to work on the new exercise double fillers. You're going to work on spot the errors, one para jumble, and you're going to get the word map. This is what you're going to learn today from the editorial and also from the newspaper. Let us have a look at the front page. 276 Indians infected with virus abroad. All the words are rather easy. There's nothing to learn from this headline. SC, Supreme Court, anxious to avoid horse trading in Madhya Pradesh. Anxious, worried, tensed up, to have cold feet, to use an idiomatic expression. Anxious, and also horse trading. In this context, actually horse trading means buying and selling horses. But in this context, it talks about buying the members of Legislative Assembly, buying MLAs, horse trading. That's an important expression. Another headline says, with 2 weeks to census start, uncertainty clouds NPR. Clouds means something that is not clear, something that is not transparent, something that is rather controversial. Other headlines are not that important. I would like to go to page 8, the editorial page. The first editorial on the left talks about competitive impropriety. You got the word propriety yesterday. Propriety means what? Morals or values or ethics. Ethical behavior, we use the word propriety. Here, impropriety, quite opposite, not moral, not ethical, not value-oriented. I'm going to spend time on this editorial today. And there's one more editorial on the left. How does it go? Democratic heft. Democratic heft. There's one new word, heft. Heft means weightage of someone or something. Here, democratic heft means the weightage of the Democratic Party in the context of the US presidential elections. The main editorial, how does it go? In upper house nomination, a fall for aloofness. That's an important word, aloofness. Being aloof means being isolated, not being part of the mainstream. You could also use the word alienated, but generally the word aloof goes with, in everyday English, being aloof means being isolated. And there's one more article, time for a powerful display of humanity. Not very important, nothing to learn from that particular article. Let us see how the editorial starts. It starts with 2 words, competitive impropriety. So what do you understand from these 2 words? First, you have to understand the meaning of the word propriety. Propriety, it has a positive connotation. Opposite, impropriety. What is the meaning of the word impropriety? Failure to observe standards of honesty or modesty, improper behavior or character. Proper behavior, proper character, we use the word propriety. Opposite, improper behavior or character. Improper character, we use the word impropriety. Now, what is this competitive impropriety? How does the editorial start? It starts with competitive, the word competitive impropriety. So what do you understand? What does it mean? What does it convey? Here it talks about why is it used, the word competitive. It talks about what happened in the past. During the tenure of the Congress party, they did more or less the same thing. Now the BJP is trying to do the same thing. In a way, they're competing with each other when it comes to impropriety. That's what the editorial wants to convey. Competitive impropriety. Competition not related to something good, but competition related to something bad, something improper. So not easy to understand from the two words, competitive impropriety. When you read the editorial, it will be easy for you to understand what exactly these words mean. Now, the second sentence talks about it is like a suggestion. Retired judges should not. The word should talks about, it has two functions. One is, it is used to advise someone or suggest someone. The other function of the helping verb should. It is used to express a possibility, but chances are less. In this context, it is more like advice or suggestion. Retired judges should not accept a parliament seat, lest, that's an important word. It goes with formal English and written English. What is the meaning of the word lest? Lest means for fear that is one meaning. Another meaning, something done in order to avoid an undesirable consequence. Lest, in this context, you could take the second one, something done in order to avoid an undesirable consequence. The sentence talks about retired judges should not accept a parliament seat. Why? What is the reason? If they do that, it will be seen as a political reward. So they have to avoid, lest, avoid an undesirable consequence. That is not easy to understand, and it is not a regular word. Now, here the editorial provides the backdrop information or background information and what is the lead to write this particular editorial. The President's nomination of former Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, as a Rajya Sabha member so soon after his retirement will be seen as a crass example of a regime rewarding a member of the judiciary for meeting its expectations during his tenure. This talks about how it can be seen. The nomination of Ranjan Gogoi, the former Chief Justice of India, as a Rajya Sabha member so soon after his retirement, hardly 4 months I suppose, so soon after his retirement will be seen. How will it be seen? It will be seen as a crass example. It is an important word, crass. It means insensitive. It also means showing no intelligence. In fact, crass also means stupid. I didn't want to use that word stupid. It doesn't go with this context. Here, better expression is showing no intelligence. Nominating Ranjan Gogoi will be seen as a crass example of a regime. The word regime means the government, ruling party, ruling government. Example of a regime rewarding a member of the judiciary for meeting its expectations during his tenure. It conveys the idea that during his tenure, Ranjan Gogoi met the expectations of the BJP party or the regime or the ruling government, and as a reward to that, they appointed Ranjan Gogoi as a Rajya Sabha member. So this is what it talks about. It will be futile to argue that it is a well-deserved recognition for an eminent jurist. Ranjan Gogoi, the former Chief Justice, obviously an eminent jurist, eminent, well-known in a particular field, and we can also say highly successful, someone with an illustrious career. So Ranjan Gogoi, beyond any doubt, no one can dispute the fact that he was an eminent jurist. And because of that, you cannot say that he deserves to be appointed. The sentence says, it will be a futile argument. It will be futile to argue. Futile means one meaning, a waste, another meaning, pointless. It will be, generally it goes with the word effort, futile effort, the typical combination. We also say futile argument. It will be futile to argue that it is a well-deserved recognition for an eminent jurist. Those who oppose this stand that it cannot be justified appointing Ranjan Gogoi, they may say, it is a well-deserved recognition for an eminent jurist. But the editorial says that will be a futile argument. What is the reason? The gap of 4 months between his retirement and nomination, and the fact that a series of decisions in his court were in seeming conformity with the present government's expectations, militate against such a justification. If you try to justify his nomination saying that he was an eminent jurist, then the editorial says there are certain things which go against that justification and that can't be justified. What are they? One is the gap of 4 months between his retirement and nomination. That is one factor. The other factor, the fact that a series of decisions in his court were in seeming conformity. Conform means what? To comply with. Comply with what? The present government's expectations, militate against such a justification. They go against such a justification. That's an important word. Militate means what? Tend to prevent. Tend to prevent. The second argument, there's one more argument which goes against the justification. What is the second argument? The second argument, that there have been instances of retired Chief Justices being nominated to the upper house or appointed governors, does not cut ice either, as it is nothing more than a dubious claim to the same level of impropriety. The second argument says they may try to give in the past what happened, some examples from the past, but the editorial says even those arguments, they cannot stand, they don't cut ice either. The second argument, that there have been instances of retired Chief Justices being nominated to the upper house or appointed governors, does not cut ice either. What is the meaning of that idiomatic expression? To not cause someone to change their opinion or decision. In a way, it means that it cannot be justified. Why? What is the reason for that? As it is nothing more than a dubious thing. This is an important word. Dubious means doubtful. It is nothing more than a dubious claim to the same level of impropriety. It also goes with impropriety, and it is a doubtful claim, and it goes to the same level of impropriety. In fact, then the editorial gives more examples what happened in the past and why they come under impropriety. In fact, references to the late Chief Justice of India, Ranganath Mishra, and Justice Baharul Islam as valid precedents reflect quite poorly on the executive and amount to competitive impropriety. Here, the expression competitive impropriety. What is this example? Two examples, in fact. In fact, references to the late Chief Justice of India, Ranganath Mishra, and Justice Baharul Islam as valid precedents reflect quite poorly on the executive and amount to competitive impropriety. In a way, what happened in the past, now the BJP is trying to do. And when they try to do something negative, as if competition, from the competition point of view, the expression competitive impropriety comes into picture. That's what the editorial has used. There continues to be a perception that these were lapses in propriety. And what is the general perception? There continues to be a perception that these were lapses in propriety. Propriety means moral behavior, ethical behavior, value-oriented behavior. Lapses means failures. That's an important word. Again, the editorial provides more information regarding Mishra's tenure, what happened during his time, and also the other Chief Justice. Justice Mishra's Commission of Inquiry absolved the Congress from any organizational responsibility for the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. When Indira Gandhi was assassinated in 1984, there was a sort of genocide against Sikhs, and Justice Mishra's Commission of Inquiry absolved. That's an important word. Absolve, another word, exonerate, means free, one meaning. Also, free from what? Free from blame. Absolve the Congress from any organizational responsibility for the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. Another example, Justice Islam exonerated a Congress chief minister of wrongdoing in a financial scandal in Bihar. These are the two examples. One goes with Mishra's commission, the other goes with Justice Islam exonerated a Congress chief minister of wrongdoing in a financial scandal in Bihar. Exonerate, that is also an important word. It means discharged, that is one meaning. Another meaning, stop blaming someone. The party had helped Justice Islam move both ways between Parliament and the judiciary. So what did the Congress do? The party had helped Justice Islam move both ways between Parliament and the judiciary. He quit the upper house in 1972 to take office as a High Court judge. In 1983, he quit as a Supreme Court judge to contest an election. Mr. Gogoi's appointment cannot be seen, as he has sought to project, as a way of ensuring cohesion between the judiciary and the legislature. Mr. Gogoi's stand was that he could play the role of, he could bring in cohesion between the judiciary and the legislature. But the editorial does not accept, and it says, Mr. Gogoi's appointment cannot be seen, as he has sought to project, Mr. Gogoi tried to project that way, as a way of ensuring cohesion between the judiciary and the legislature. There's an important word here, cohesion, means what? Unity. What is the reason for that? Why we cannot consider that particular stand? He no longer represents the judiciary. Now he is not part of the judiciary. He no longer represents the judiciary, and his contribution will be limited to the expertise and knowledge he can bring to debates in Parliament. Whatever expertise he has, whatever knowledge he has, it will be limited when it comes to debates in Parliament. There's one important word here, expertise, means what? Skill. Any attempt to create cohesion between the two wings would necessarily encroach on the judiciary's role as a restraining force on the executive and legislature. Any attempt to create cohesion is an important word, it means unity. Unity between the two wings. Between the two wings one is the judiciary, the other legislature. Between the two wings would necessarily encroach, that's an important word. Encroach means to occupy illegally. Usually it goes with property. Encroachment of someone's property. Here, encroachment on the rights, encroach on the judiciary's role as a restraining force, controlling force on the executive and legislature. And the editorial says he should have rejected the offer, considering not only the nature of the judgments that benches headed by him had delivered in the Ayodhya dispute and the Rafale investigation, and the administrative decisions he had made in prioritizing some cases above matters such as the validity of electoral bonds and Kashmir's altered status. All these reasons, the editorial says, he should have rejected the offer. These will be colored in retrospect. Otherwise, they will be colored when we look back. Also, one more reason why he should have rejected. Also, he ought to have, that's an important helping verb. Actually, it has become outdated. Ought to means, it also means the same, advise or suggest, but it goes with formal English. Also, he ought to have followed the example of his former colleagues who had declared that they would not accept any post-retirement work from the government. He should have done the same thing. That's what the editorial says. And one cannot forget that his tenure. And one more thing the editorial talks about, during his tenure, there was a controversy. The editorial talks about that. And one cannot forget that his tenure was clouded by an employee's complaint of sexual harassment, which acquired greater credibility after she was reinstated following his exoneration by a committee of judges. Again, the word exoneration, absolved from blame for a wrongdoing. As per the government, making such an offer to a just retired Chief Justice of India is not mere brazenness. This is an important word. Brazenness means shamelessness. How does the editorial end? It indicates an alarming intention to undermine. That's an important word. Undermine means lessen the effectiveness or power or ability of something. Here, the judicial authority. It indicates an alarming intention to undermine judicial authority so that the elected executive is seen as all-powerful. All this talks about undermining. In a way, there's an intention to undermine judicial authority. That's what the editorial talks about. That's all about today's editorial. And now it is time to work on your language proficiency. Have a look at these words and try to first write the part of speech, then you go to the meaning of encroach, to occupy illegally. Someone's property, someone else occupies illegally, then the meaning of that is encroach. Encroachment of pavements, encroachment of private property, encroachment of government property. These are the typical combinations. Now have a look at the first word, impropriety. Part of speech. Impropriety, part of speech is not adjective. Noun, one is noun, that's right. What is the meaning of that? E is the answer. I see a lot of students responding. E is the answer, that's right. What is E? Improper, not moral, not ethical. The tone of the passage is negative, D. Mahita, obviously. The tone of the passage is negative, not approving the stand taken by the President and the stand taken by the former Chief Justice of India. Criticizing. Negative, you could say. We don't use the word negative, rather critical, criticizing. This is not a regular word, it's a formal word. Part of speech is conjunction, not easy to guess. Lest part of speech is conjunction. Second one, please make a note, the part of speech is conjunction. And what is the meaning of that? Lest. J, what is J? Insensitive? No. Not a verb. To I. In case. I is the answer. In case. Further fear that. To prevent something. I is the answer. Very good. Who is this conjunction? Mahendra Singh. I appreciate that. Go to the third one. Yes, G is pointless is not correct. This is an important word. Cross example. You can easily make out which part of speech is it. Adjective. Cross example. 3 adjective, that's right. Third one is not a noun. Third one is an adjective. J. Insensitive, that is also right. Not showing intelligence, stupid. You could think of those words as well. J is the answer. And what is the second one? In case. Futile. Futile effort, futile argument. Try to make the combinations, then you can guess the part of speech effortlessly. Go to the fourth word. That's right. Third one is adjective, J. What is the fourth one? Fourth one is adjective, obviously. When I say futile argument, futile effort, and what does it mean? G is the answer. What is G? Pointless. Futile effort, wasted effort, pointless. That's right. Go to the fifth one. Atul Kumar, yes, 4 adjective. It is pointless, not failures, pointless. Not A, it is G. Futile means what? Pointless. Futile argument. Pointless argument. Fifth one is verb. That's right. Militate. It's a regular verb. Militated. What is tend to prevent? That is also right. Tend to prevent. C is the answer. Absolutely right. Not D. C is the answer. Tend to prevent. Sixth one, lapse singular, lapses plural. Obviously, it has to be a noun. What is the answer? Sai Shri says A. 6A, that's right. Failures, lapses, failures on someone's part. Lapse on his part. It was a lapse. Means what? It was a failure. Something that has been overlooked. That's right. Absolve, that's an important word. There are 2 words which are synonyms. Verb, that's right. A regular verb. It could be either B or it could be F. Either way it is right. Let me consider B, discharged. Exonerated. These 2 words are synonyms. Absolve, exonerate. They go with crime, accusation, allegation. 8 is also a verb. I already have chosen B. Here it has to be F. 7, verb B. 8, also verb F. That's right. B or F. That's good. Who is this? Nagamani. That is being smart. B or F. Either way it is right. Cohesion. What is the meaning of? Which part of speech is it? 8 is over. 9. Cohesion is a noun, not a verb. What is the meaning of that? H is the meaning. This is over, this is over, this is over, this is over. What are you left with? Brazenness. Brazenness, obviously, it has to be a noun. And what is the word you're left with, or option you're left with? Shamelessness. Brazen behavior means what? Shameless behavior. Brazenness. Togetherness also you could say Nagamani. That is good, I appreciate. Generally we say cohesion means what? Unity. Who has got all the 10 correct? That is highly appreciable. You should be very happy. All the 10 correct parts of speech. 7 is also good enough. I appreciate that. Netish Chinna. Please go to double fillers. You see 4 sentences, each sentence with 2 blanks. On the right you see 4 options, each option 2 words. You have to select the correct pair. Aloof means being isolated, Ganesh. Aloof means to be isolated. Aloofness, to be isolated, to be cut off from something or someone. No problem, 10-10 is highly appreciable. One part of speech you haven't got it right. That is not an easy one. You don't have to worry about that. It is like getting all the 10 correct. Nagamani. 9 also highly appreciable. Lapse, yes, of course. Lapse could be a noun, it could be a verb. Lapsed. Atul Kumar, that's good, I appreciate. It could be a noun, it could be a verb. But in this context, lapse, lapses, noun. Please have a look at double fillers and try to lengthy sentences, read the sentences quickly, meticulously. Sidhu says 1-1, Manasa says 1-4. A lot of students say 1-4, but a few students say 1-1, 1-3. The Supreme Court on Wednesday said its primary duty in the Madhya Pradesh political controversy is to independently verify whether the 16 MLAs, how do you describe these 16 MLAs? Dissident. So answer should be are holed up in Karnataka or have been captive in the BJP ruled state. Answer is the 4th one. Dissident MLAs and captive. The word captive usually goes with animals. Captive animal, breeding in captivity, means kept in a cage, kept in a particular place. Second one, the Supreme Court on Wednesday ordered states to come out with a uniform policy too, that while preventing the spread of COVID-19, schemes providing nutritional food to children, nursing and lactating mothers are not affected. Very good. Second one is second one. To ensure that, and what is the second word here, are not adversely affected. That's an important word. Adverse, something negative. Adversely, in this context, it is an adverb, but generally it is used as an adjective. Adverse report, negative report. Adversely affected, not affected, affected. Third one, I see a few students have responded. Some say 1 and some say third option. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Wednesday told the Lok Sabha that corruption had ended and things had become more. 3 should be the answer. Transparent. More transparent in Jammu and Kashmir after the region's special status under Article 370 was diluted. The third one is the third option. Amid, now what are you left with? Fourth one, obviously it has to be 1. Amid surveillance concerns, DOT clarifies that the records that have been sought do not include any personal details. Has anyone got all the 4 correct? These are from today's paper. Exercises, I'm mixing a few articles from yesterday's paper, a few articles from today's paper. Slowly I'll make it everything from today's paper. And so that you get exposed to a variety of contexts. In the long run, that will help you in the exam. Transparent, something that is open, not hidden, no secrecy. Everything is open, everything is crystal clear. Then we use the word transparent. The policy, the procedure, the administration, when we use the word transparent, it means everything is crystal clear. There is no ambiguity, no element of suspicion can be entertained. Please go to the next one, para jumble. The US presidential elections, that is a backdrop, unfamiliar context, a bit difficult, you got to read. Candidness, that also you could say frank. But candid means Rajshekhar. Candid means frank. Transparency goes more with being honest, being perfect, and not indulging in any nefarious activities or illegal activities. Candidness goes more with being frank. Ensure means to make sure that something happens. Chandrasekhar. Ensure that something happens means what? Make sure that something happens. A few students have responded, a lot of students rather, they all say more or less unanimous 1C. 1C, unfortunately, not correct. Almost those who have responded, Manasa says 1B, that is right. Well into the middle of the US Democratic primaries, the party's prospective nomination is tipping in favor of, tilting, tipping, moving, inclining, in favor of former Vice President Joe Biden. What is the second one? 1B is right, that is over. You should go to the second one. It talks about the US Democratic Party presidents. 2D is correct. And who is the other candidate? And Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is fast falling behind. Something is tipping in favor of former Vice President Joe Biden, and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is fast falling behind. These two go with one idea. BD. Now, what is the third one? If you get the third one, then third is not C. Third is E, that is right. Barring the possibility of dramatic victories in the 27 remaining states that are holding primaries and caucuses between now and June 23rd. The odds of Mr. Sanders staging a comeback in terms of the 1,991 delegates required to secure the nomination are increasingly insurmountable. So what is the last one here? This is the third one, this is the fourth one, and the last one is... so what is the correct order? BD, one idea, and EAC, one idea. BD, EAC, that's right. Who has got it right, they should be very happy. Because it is unfamiliar context and insurmountable. Try to guess the meaning based on the... Here it talks about staging a comeback in terms of whatever it is, or increasing the odds. The odds are increasingly insurmountable. Means not feasible, not possible, not going to happen. Now try to work on spot the errors. Caucuses, that word goes with the US presidential elections. They go with the primaries. They go with the meetings. Those who want to contest and for the post of the president, they have to address gatherings, they have to give the presentations, they have to make the speeches. All those things, the word caucuses, purely a political term. Someone, Chandrasekhar says, so how to find parajumble? First sentence, you should take the elimination approach. Any sentence with a pronoun cannot be the first sentence. Any sentence with the definite article, the exceptions are there. Any sentence with demonstrative pronouns, demonstrative adjectives. Any sentence with that begin with link words or conjunctions or contrasting words, you have to eliminate. Then you can get the first sentence. Getting the first sentence is rather easy. Should not be a problem. Let us see. Sentence number 1, spot the errors. The state government has decided to set up an expert committee, including public health professionals and scientists, to guide them. What is the subject here? The state government. That is third person singular. To guide them is not correct. It should be to guide it. Guide it. Subject, pronoun, agreement. What is this question about? Subject, pronoun, agreement. What is the subject here? Government, singular. Then you cannot use a plural pronoun. It has to be third person singular. Because not a person, we have to use the pronoun it. Go to the second sentence. That's right, Shankar. Smart Purna. That's also right. Them is not correct. It should be it. Please read the second sentence. This is an important one. If you get this right, you should be very happy. Not easy. Many students cannot spot the error when it comes to sentence number 2. No response. Looks like a tough one. But, nothing wrong with the word but. Nothing wrong with the word guide. Nothing wrong with the word elaborated. No, the former, nothing wrong with that. If you remember one particular rule, then you will be able to. No one has got it right. That is a bit surprising. Whenever you come across verbs like make, help, get, you should be alert and you should think of causative verbs. Here there is one verb, made him, make, made. Causative verbs like make, help, get, they don't take the preposition to. To should not be there. That is the error. That made him wait and accept the offer. The master made us to wait. That is not correct. The master made us wait for a long time. The doctor made us wait for a long time. The doctor made us to wait is wrong. Do remember, make, help, get, they don't take the preposition to. And these are known as causative verbs. Very important. No one has got it right, nothing to worry. Go to the next one. Observing, this is rather easy but important, should not be a problem. Quite often in bank exams, they touch this particular aspect. That's right, made us wait for a long time, Rajshekhar. We should not use to. Yes, Maunika, that's right. Please go to sentence number 3. We are running out of time. Easy one should not be a problem. Sentence number 2 is rather difficult, but sentence number 3, identifying. Very good. Who is this? Srirama QT. First person to get it right. This question goes with parallel expression. Parallel expression. Observing, ing, classifying, ing, recognizing, ing, observing, classifying, recognizing patterns of regularity, and to identify. You cannot use the basic form or infinitive. Here it should be in ing form. So what is the right word here? Identifying. What is the right word? Identifying is the right word. Good. A few students have got it right. Make a note, it is related to parallel expression. Have a look at sentence number 4, rather easy. within no time you will be able to get the answer or spot the error. Identifying. Remember the expression, parallel structure. Manisha has got it right, the first one to get it right, sentence number 4. Here it was heartening to seen. To seen is not correct, it should be to see. Quite often in bank exams, they ask questions related to the basic form or infinitive. After the preposition to, if you see a verb, usually it should be in the basic form, but do remember exceptions are there. You have to cross-check whether to goes with the verb or it goes with the word before that. And don't take it for granted, exceptions are there. And this is related to what? Infinitive or the basic form. Please go to sentence number 5. That is also rather easy. This is difficult. I don't say it is easy, it is rather difficult. If you get this right, I'll be happy. You should also be happy. To see, yes, Sridhar, that is right. T-O, to see. Automatic teller machines, nothing wrong with that. Automated teller machines, nothing wrong with that. That is not the error. This is not easy. If you get it right, highly appreciable. Was lifted, no, is lifted. After the moratorium, temporary suspension is lifted, what will happen? No. No one has got it right so far. That is a bit surprising. No way. Surprising. Here, it talks about after, read from here, after the moratorium is lifted, what will happen as branches and automated teller machines will have adequate cash. Will is missing. It refers to the future. Why shouldn't they worry? Once the moratorium is lifted, the ATMs will have adequate cash. Not easy. Do remember, sometimes you come across tough questions. Under pressure, very difficult. Now have a look at this word map. Crass example. Crass means what? Insensitive, stupid, not intelligent. But that's an important word. You got it from the editorial. It has to be important. And vacuous, not a regular word. Boorish, remember this one. Remember this one. Asinine, not a regular word. Doltish, not a regular word. Offish, not a regular word. But you never know. Sometimes they do touch words that are not regular. Will have is a word. Question of the day. Okay, that's good. I appreciate that. Now you're deciding which is the question of the day. That's wonderful. Have a look at these phrasal verbs. These are rather easy, should not be a problem. Boorish means rude. That's right. One of the meanings, do remember in English has about 8 lakh words. On an average, each word has about 4 or 5 meanings. Boorish, generally it means rude, impolite. Have a look at these phrasal verbs and try to get the correct meaning of each phrasal verb. What is the first one? Take aback. This is very important. Usually it is used in passive voice. To A, I don't think so. To 1, oh, okay, 2A, take after, that's okay. I thought 1D. D is what? To be surprised a lot. I was taken aback when I saw that person in the theater. I was taken aback. Remember the expression? I was taken aback. It goes in passive voice. I was taken aback. That's a standard expression. I was surprised. Take after, yes, Lavanya, that is right. To take after someone, resemble someone, or look like someone. She takes after her mother. He takes after his father. Everyday English. Take off. It has 2 or 3 meanings. What is the third one? Take off, rather easy. It goes with everyday English. To remove something. Usually it goes with clothes, footwear, accessories. Take off your shoes. Another meaning of the phrasal verb take off, it goes with aeroplanes. The plane took off at 3:30. Means what? It left the runway. It became airborne. Talk back. That's an important one. It goes with everyday English. 4B. That is right. B. Reply rudely. We also use the expression answer back. Don't talk back, don't answer back. Thrash out. C. To beat someone severely. There's one idiomatic expression, thrash out. To beat someone black and blue. To beat someone severely. Has anyone got all the... Thrash means to beat. To beat someone. Thrash someone. To beat someone. Usually beat someone severely. Who has got all the 5 phrasal verbs correct? They should be very happy. Please go to idioms, idiomatic expressions. Teja says 5, Saishi also, Pawan Kumar, Nagamani, and Lionel Messi. Complete verb. You mean to say verbs, Shankar? Fine. Please go to the next exercise, idioms. This is an important one. Usually it is used at the time of elections. Srirama Cutie, that's good. 5, all the 5 correct. 4 also, Sridhar, I appreciate. Lavanya says 5A, fag end. Oh, you're going in the reverse order, Lavanya. I still appreciate, that is right. Fag end of something, fag end of the session. We have reached the fag end of the session. Means what? The last part of something. I use this quite often. Fag end of the passage, the last part of the passage. Fag end of the meeting, the last part of the meeting. Dark horse, an important one. 1B, Monica says 1B. Candidate with doubtful chances of success. That is absolutely right. Donald Trump was the dark horse at the time of the US presidential elections when he contested. No one expected Donald Trump to win. He was a dark horse. 5, dark horse means what? Candidate with doubtful chances of success. At daggers drawn, this is also an important idiomatic expression. They have given many a time. 2D, openly hostile. That is right, absolutely. It goes with writers, politicians, celebrities, painters, artists, openly hostile, at daggers drawn, antagonistic. Hostile means what? Antagonistic. At daggers, the 2 writers are always at daggers drawn. Elbow room, 3E, space in which one can move freely. That is also right. This is an important one. 4C, yes. El Dorado, that's an important one. Do remember. An imaginary land of plenty and prosperity. A land that has a lot of prosperity and something in abundance, wealth in abundance. We use the word El Dorado, an important one. 2 teachers are at daggers drawn. Usually it doesn't go with teachers, smart Purna. Teachers are knowledgeable people. Usually they are not at daggers drawn. They go for a discussion, they sort out the issues. Usually it goes with artists, celebrities, politicians. It doesn't mean that these people are not intelligent enough. Usually they try to be antagonistic or hostile. What have you learned from today's editorial and the newspaper? You have got words like impropriety. The editorial is all about the former Chief Justice of India, Gogoi, accepting the nomination, and that is considered impropriety. It's all about that important word. Lest a formal word, not that important, but you have to remember. Crass, an important word. Futile, everyday English, rather easy. Militate, important word. Lapse, a regular word, easy, at the same time important. Absolved, important. Exonerated, important. They go with the crime and other things. And what is the next one? Cohesion, important. Brazenness, everyday English, rather easy. These are easy. Double fillers, quite challenging. And these dark horse, important idiom. Daggers drawn, important. El Dorado, very important. Take aback, because of the sentence pattern is important. Take after, everyday English. Take off, everyday English. Talk back, everyday English. Thrash out, everyday English. But when you see these, try to recollect the related idioms. That will help you in the long run. Thank you very much. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow with a new editorial to enrich your language proficiency and your vocabulary. Thank you. Thank you very much.